would like to call to order this meeting. Thank you all for joining us for our weekly hybrid MLS breakfast meeting. My name is Earl Knudsen from Pinnacle Real Estate Group, and I am your July program chair. And we have 5 Thursdays in July, so you still have me for a couple more. We're halfway. Okay, a little bit about me. In 2022, I have been on the WSGVR Board of Directors and a CAR Director, and I've been in our grievance committee, the MLS committee, membership meeting committee, and the legislative committee this year. Mr. Tran. Would you lead us into the budget, please?
Thank you, I appreciate it. They said, all these, and I like to lead you to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic, one nation.
Thank you, David. And now the inspirational quote from Pauline Lamb.
Morning, everyone. This morning I would like to share, you are never too old, set another goal, or to dream a new dream. Thank you.
Thank you, Pauline, very much. I almost completed half the meeting already, so I could save a little bit of time. Sorry about that. But you heard me on the announcement that they come up from the front here for the forum. Also, all participants on Zoom, please be aware that you are muted when you come into the MLS meeting. And should you have a question or a comment, please remember to enter it into the chat box. To join us weekly as we have the hybrid breakfast meeting every Thursday at 9 o'clock in the morning. And as always, the meeting is being recorded and will be available online on the YouTube channel, West San Gabriel Valley Realtors. Please remember to follow WSGVR on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you may also watch our pre-recorded videos on YouTube. And you can also join us on a text group and get the most recent announcements. Just text WSGVR to 888-301-2201. Today's agenda consists of our affiliate spotlight, Sue Chung from Maza, and our guest speaker, Maza, Vice Mayor, City of Alhambra. Just a reminder that we to be eligible for today's drawings, you must be a WSGVR member and be in person at the association. We will be having an attendance drawing, the Amazon gift card drawing, and also the 50-50 raffle. Today, our affiliate spotlight will be brought to you by our affiliate committee, Chair Lena Sankari of US Bank and Vice Chair Teresa Nguyen from Loan Direct. Take it away, Sue.
Good morning.
Is it on?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sue Fong, and I am with Maza Management. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to introduce myself to all of you today. I come from a close-knit family that has been an integral part of my journey. Growing up, I was fortunate to have parents who instilled me in the values of hard work, compassion, and resilience. These values have shaped who I am today and continue to guide my actions and decisions. In this picture, you will find my husband, daughter, son, and grandson. One of my favorite places in SoCal is the Hollywood Bowl, listening to some live music under the stars. How many of you here have stayed at an Airbnb before? Our company specializes in all things Airbnb, short-term rental, mid-term rental, and vacation rental. We typically help our clients make 20 to 100% more by renting their home out on a short-term basis compared to a traditional long-term lease. How does it work? 3 easy steps. Request a free consultation, sign contract, and we'll help you launch your property. This property is in the city of West Covina. It has 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. Last year, we helped this owner generate 105, 132, 13 in the entire year, way more than what he would have earned renting it out on a short-term basis. This property is in the city of Fullerton. In the last 6 months so far, we have helped this client generate $51,701.87. Which comes out to be about $8,616 a month. Rent's estimate right now is about $4,997. So our company helped this client generate 72% more by renting it out on a short-term basis. If anyone here has an investment property or knows someone that wants to generate 20 to 100% more, please let me know. Please come see me after the meeting. We do offer free consultations and free revenue scenarios. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Sue. Good to know. I didn't know. That's a fantastic. Okay. We will now have our affiliate introductions for today. All paid affiliates present today line up at the front, please. And please remember, no promotions or announcements. This is just a morning greet only. We will begin with the affiliates in person. Please walk through and towards the door. Next, we will, and then we will call on the affiliates that are online.
Good morning, everybody. Mackenzie Hong, Morrison Post Property Inspection.
Good morning. My name is Cosmo Sanchez, and I am a home lender with New Aim Funding. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
bright?
Brandon Spransky
No,
with First
it's-
American
it's cute, 'cause
NHC.
it's
Have a
summer.
great day.
The end.
Good morning, it's Andrew Wong with Loan Direct. It's a beautiful day.
Me again, Sue Chong with the Casa Management.
Good morning, everyone. Chris Hahn with Guild Mortgage. Have an awesome day.
Hello, everybody. Eduardo Higuchi with Peter Lake.
Good morning, everyone. Jacqueline Chu from Champion Escrow.
Morning, everybody. Richard Zalota, ACG Funding. Have a fantastic day.
Good morning, everyone. Alba Boyd from Boyd Development. Have a great day.
Good morning, the king of reverse mortgages. Ryan, great one, great to like.
Good morning, this is Alina from Glen Oaks Escrow. Have a productive day. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Lucia Ham representing CarePa Chinese American Real Estate Professionals Association.
Good morning, David Trang with Home Call Home Warranty. If you didn't win the Powerball last night, this is your second chance.
Morning, Lena Sankari from US Bank Home Mortgage. And you have all the affiliates lined up. Please help us out, support you, support us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are happy to include open pitch for our hybrid MLS breakfast meeting. A reminder that would you like to have a pitch up for one of your listings, you must go on wsgvar.com and click on open pitch, fill out the caravan request form and submit it no later than Tuesday midnight, the week that you want to make a pitch. Today, we have one pitch from.
Earl, excuse me, we have our virtual affiliates first.
Oh, the virtual affiliates. That's John, Sandy, and Mark Wu. Mark, would you go first? John Wax, my bro.
Hello, brother Earl. Yes.
Not doing too good, John.
Good morning, everyone. John Wax with Snap and HD Natural Hazard Disclosure Reports. Yes, the heat is on. Stay hydrated. Have a wonderful day and a great upcoming weekend.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. And next would be Sandy Franco.
Good morning, Earl. You'll get through this. It'll be good.
Yeah, it was the donut that threw me off.
Have a great day, everyone. Stay cool. Sandy with First American.
Thank you, Sandy. And Judy Chow.
Good morning, Judy Chow, Senior Loan Officer, AA Capital Investment. Everyone have a great week and stay cool. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mark Wu from Lavo.
Yeah, I appreciate you thinking of me first, Earl. Mark Wu.
I did. I tried.
Marco at Lavo Insurance, still offering standard homeowners and condos insurance for your buyer's needs.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you all to all our affiliates. Thank you very much. And on the open house, we have Melissa Cheng from Remax Prestige Properties. Is she here?
Hello, everybody. I'm Melissa Ching from Remax Prestige Properties. I was in court recognized with Remax, just to let you know. And this is. I come up this one or Arcadia.
That's the one that was submitted.
Oh, this one actually, I was supposed to. It's another, but anyway, my sister maybe give this one. So this one is a new listing built in 1964, and I think it's the lowest one, maybe second lowest one in Walnut Market. And then I have open house actually last weekend, pretty good. And this week there are 2 more open house also today. So it's half renovated in a very good location, walking distance to the elementary school in Walnut. And I hope all your great buyers and that is solid. Thank you. The price 898,000. Yeah.
Thank you, Melissa. At this time, we'll have the post the bio for our guest speaker. Ross Maza has been a real estate broker for 25 years. Yes, during this time, his business led him to various roles in the field of housing, from investment real estate to residential design and build. With an office in the city of Alhambra, Ross has been working independently since 2001. His experience in residential construction and renovation has also led him to be involved in numerous projects throughout Southern California, including numerous ground-up builds. Ross has a special interest for vintage craftsman homes of early 1900s. Ross also was born in Guatemala City and moved to Alhambra in 1979 at the age of 6. He has 2 daughters, 23 and 20, both currently attending college. Ross has elected to the Alhambra City Council in 2018 and re-elected for a second term in 2022. He has previously a member of the Alhambra Planning Commission from 2012 to 2018. And I'd like right now to invite Pauline Lamb, our liaison for the city of Alhambra, to introduce Ron.
Good morning, everyone. I have a great honor to help us to welcome our Vice Mayor, Ross Maza, to give us a presentation.
Pauline, appreciate that. Thank you everyone for your patience. Anyway, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all this morning on a very hot summer day. Nice and cool in here, but it's always such a pleasure to be here. This is one of the boards that is always friendly, warm, always welcoming. I appreciate that. Always feel at home. Again, my name is Ross Maza. I am the current Vice Mayor of the city of Alhambra and have resided in Alhambra since I was a young boy. I am a real estate broker, as my bio said. So this is, obviously home to me being here at this board and locally. So many things happening in the city of Alhambra. Recently, we celebrated Alhambra's 120th birthday on July 11th. And truly, we got to see so many people from the community coming out, other local elected officials celebrating this birthday of our city, and got to see the diversity in the city of Alhambra. We got to see, a lot of the changes that have taken place over the last number of decades, and truly, it's become and has always been really a great city to be in. I think, our goal as city council members is always to keep it, nice, safe, obviously, and inviting to everyone that comes to our city. So with that, I'd like to move on and let you know that we do have a new police chief of the city of Alhambra, Chief Garrett Kennedy, who was recently sworn in. Chief Garrett has been in the city of Alhambra for approximately 23 years, excuse me, and has always served and gone through all the ranks of the city. Started out, I believe, as a dispatcher in the city of Alhambra and has moved up to the ranks, now becoming the city's chief. So one of the things that I need to say about our police department is that our police department is very concentrated on being involved with the community. So you'll always see our police team at a number of schools, community events, businesses, visiting on a weekly basis. They make it a point to be there. And hopefully, touch on maybe 10 to 50 different businesses throughout the week. But this is key in keeping the community what it is and what it has become. So again, welcome our new police chief. And my apologies, we'll continue to the PowerPoint for the time being. But again, in talking about our police chief, we have something called the National Night Out coming out on August 1st.
It's my fault.
No, nobody's fault at all. No. So, we'll move on, I guess, without the PowerPoint. So, anyhow, we have our National Night Out coming up on August 1st in the city of Alhambra. That'll take place right next to City Hall. And this is an event where, basically, we highlight our police departments throughout the nation. Alhambra Police Department puts on events for children, for families, and typically we have a very solid turnout in the city of Alhambra, welcoming our entire community and nearby neighbors as well. So one of the other very important topics that is coming up in the city of Alhambra that you may all be interested in because of your prospective clients, et cetera, is a potential tenant protection moratorium. So this issue came up recently as a result of a number of residents within one particular building being served a notice for eviction. And the issue was that these people had no fault. They paid their rent on time for a number of years. And it came to be that the new owner that acquired the property was thinking of rehabilitating the entire property, the unit at the time, ended up serving notices to all of its tenants, and the tenants came to the city council for any type of protection that could be given. A lot of these tenants are seniors and have been living in these units for 25 plus years. And so it became a big issue in the city of Alhambra. What he decided to do was put together something temporary to protect their tenants, but obviously take a look at the entire picture. We'll be coming in front of the city council soon to take a look at something more permanent. When we talk about something more permanent, we're also talking about protecting, of course, our landlords as well. We have to look at all sides of the issue and make sure that everyone is being equally protected. So anyhow, that is coming up soon for a second reading, and probably at the end of this year, we'll be looking at something a little bit more permanent. So any questions regarding that, happy to discuss it and go into more detail with you. Next, although I'd like to show you the pictures here, we just broke ground on a 45 unit affordable housing units or complex on North Chapel, just north of Main Street. This is something that was in the works probably for 3+ years. Funding for affordable housing projects is not easy to put together. And so, thank you. Hopefully you can hear me better. Thank you. Let me know. So again, going back, a 45 unit affordable housing project that we just broke ground on in late June. This will be probably coming to completion at the end of 2024. And the idea is for it to house and give priority to Alhambra residents primarily, and then secondarily, of course, people from just the general area. So, there's a lot of questions regarding affordable housing. Will they be serving primarily, one of the questions that we get a lot is, will they be serving primarily the homeless population? And not necessarily, it's basically serving any families or individuals in Alhambra that fall within a certain income bracket. And in this case, it's very low income. And so this particular project will have an on-site office that'll provide support services. A lot of the families in Alhambra that we are aware of that are having housing issues will be given priority. And it's very surprising a lot of times that we don't see the homelessness that is happening within our communities. But a lot of times it happens to be families from our own school district. And so because of these issues, we decided to prioritize Alhambra families on these projects first. The second affordable housing project will be going up on Second and Main Street. There is an old burger location called Rick's Burgers, and it'll be going up right behind Rick's Burgers. We are still working on the funding for that, but the project actually has been approved. That is a 55-unit affordable housing project, and I believe it's going to be 5 stories with parking underneath. And these are nice, clean, modern-looking buildings. And so that is expected to be completed maybe mid-2026. Next, I'm sure you're all aware of accessory dwelling units, ADUs. So the numbers for these have really skyrocketed in the city of Alhambra. We went from maybe a handful of applications, early on, 2017, 2018, to now literally hundreds of applications any given year. I think at last that we saw, we had about 217 applications in the system. Not all of these get built, obviously, but a number of them do see completion. And so, with us, and I think we're all aware, we have a very high housing shortage throughout the state of California, and have a lot of pressure from the state to build and make sure that our housing is moving in the right direction, obviously. And so with that said, a lot of these units that are being built will count towards those what we call our RENA numbers, our housing regional needs assessment numbers. Believe it or not, right now in the city of Alhambra, we are being asked to build approximately 6,700 units within the next 7 years. When we compare these numbers, we look at maybe the last decade, and we've built approximately 1,700 units in 1 decade. So to build 6,700 within 6 years is going to be a tough feat. But again, the ADUs will definitely help, and a lot of the projects that are up and coming. One of the things that people ask me a lot about is the development on Fremont and Mission, which some of you may know as the Villages. And this project was basically voted down by our entire city council in, I believe, 2021. The developer is now back and wanting to propose some inclusionary housing numbers, meaning that they will provide a 20% percentage of affordability. And so with that, it may be hard to have the city turn down the project because the state would now consider it potentially as a part of SB 35. So the point is that it is still in the works. It is not a dead project. A lot of people ask about this because of the size. When the project was originally submitted, it was submitted as 1,100 units, and it is currently down to 790. So again, any questions about that? There's a lot more to be said about that project. Feel free to let me know after we're through here. And so one of the other things is keeping Alhambra clean. People ask about cleanliness throughout the city, graffiti, trash. A lot of times we see bulky items being put out on the streets. So recently, the city of Alhambra has reinstated its bulky item sweep. And what this means is that we have a truck coming through on a weekly basis, different parts of the city, picking up things that are left outside, whether it be mattresses, could be sofas, etc., tables. They are being picked up as a part of just a general sweep rather than having people having to call these things in. So moving on, we have also our zoning code. So this is a very important topic. What we have in the city of Alhambra is we have some very outdated zoning areas, meaning that what can be built in these areas is very limited. One of those areas which might interest you all is Valley Boulevard in West Valley, close to the 710 freeway. So this particular area has mostly been zoned for office and banking, which goes back to the 1970s. The zoning has not been updated since then. And we're working on zoning not only this area, but the entire city to make sure that it will allow for other businesses to come in and primarily housing, which is important. So with this new zoning code, one of the keys and one of the goals is to try to provide housing with in some of the commercial areas. So for example, on Main Street, Garfield, Atlantic, Valley Boulevards. And although this may not happen immediately, I think it'll give us the option of at least having that available for any future considerations. So the zoning code is currently being looked at by the Planning Commission in City of Alhambra. They've been working on it for approximately 1 year. And we're expecting to have that completed by about the end of this year here, after being looked at it by having the city council look at it at this point. So that is the zoning code. Another thing worth noting here is that we are also looking at a historic resource and historic preservation ordinance, meaning that a lot of the properties within the city of Alhambra will be protected if they fall under this ordinance. So what we're looking to do is, we have a number of homes that may be eligible for the Mills Act as an example, primarily in northern Alhambra. A lot of the older craftsman homes, the Spanish homes. And with that, hopefully it'll help protect some of these structures from being demolished and going away for other development. So, it's something that we've been looking at probably for at least city council now for about 15 years, but it's never been as close as it has gone today. What other things to let you know about? We have a lot of progress on our 710 freeway. As many of you know, this is a project that has been going on now for approximately 50 years. It went back and forth, let's build and connect the 710 with the 210 in Pasadena to, a lot of different options and concepts. One of the most recent being the tunnel that would have gone under the city of Alhambra and South Pasadena to connect the 710 and the 210 freeway. So that as, maybe you may not know, that has been scratched completely. So that 710 connection will never happen. I believe that project came to a final conclusion in late 2020. And now we're looking at possibilities of other uses for that stub, the 710 stub. So the 710 stub is basically where the 710 freeway ends between the 10 freeway and Valley Boulevard. And so what has happened there, as many of you have driven and know, is that we have a lot of congestion there on that stub in the afternoons, early mornings, going north into Alhambra. And a lot of the traffic studies have basically shown us that most of the traffic is not local Alhambra traffic. About 65% of it is actually traffic that's close to other cities, the city of Pasadena, city of Los Angeles, Arcadia, et cetera, et cetera. Computer here crashed, but what we're looking to do is basically take and get rid of the 710 stub as we know it now and turn it into two arterial paths, basically going north and south. So the path would still be there, just not used as a freeway. It would be used as two roads, one going 2-laner going north, 2-laner going south. And we would be looking at installing walking paths and bike lanes. And the goal of this is basically to try to minimize the use of this travel. So the goal, looking at a lot of the computer models that have been run over months, is try to keep traffic on the 10 freeway going east or going west. And so in trying to maximize the flow of traffic, the idea would be to improve the Garfield, the Atlantics, and the Fremont on and off ramps. And with that, hopefully allow people to stay and invite people to stay on the 10 freeway a little longer rather than exit on the 710 or any of these bigger avenues. Fremont has always, as you know, has always been an issue for the city of Alhambra. Whether it be in the mornings or in the afternoons, the street is always packed and tough to commute through. And so the idea again would be to try to keep people on the 10 and exit maybe further down, further east or further west on the 10. So, with that, a lot of models have been run. People have asked, why not extend the freeway at least to Mission Boulevard in Alhambra and have traffic going east, going west. And all of the models have shown that no matter what you do, with the exception of trying to keep people on the freeway, traffic will always find a way to get onto these surface streets, whether it be Fremont, Atlantic, or Garfield. And of course, it affects us here in the city of San Gabriel as well. The traffic will find its way onto the Valley, Del Mar Boulevards, San Gabriel Boulevard, etc. So right now we are going through some concept, through some community feedback, because of course, we've all learned that how we come up with better projects is to include the community and make sure that their feedback is part of the entire project. So with that, we're looking at the possibility of breaking ground sometime in 2025 and a completion in 2029 of the entire project. And it's not something that happens overnight, but it'll come in blocks, starting with the on and off ramps first, and of course, moving on to the actual stub. So again, just to clarify, the stub will not be closed, the stub will be improved and add some options with walking and bypass as well. So, with that, I think that is all that I have for you. Happy to engage with you all. Questions? Yeah. Right back here. Yeah.
For any questions, please come up to the mic.
Just curious, anything new with that vacant lot with Lowe's?
Yes. No. So his question was whether anything is happening with the lot where the old Lowe's was going to go on the corner of Fremont and Mission. This is going to be on the west side of Fremont. And so basically Lowe's has come back, they resubmitted an application, or at least the developer has, for potentially a new project there. They're kind of redesigning the project and looking to potentially come back to the city. One of the, as you may know, one of the issues that we've had with that lot is that people feel that it's contaminated. It was an old quarry there at some point in time, I think back in the 1930s, 1940s. And even though there's been a lot of cleanup done over the years, people feel that it's contaminated. So where it was last left is that the developer had agreed to come in and of course comply with any of the agencies, any of the state agencies in order to make it usable, and of course put a vapor barrier down for any issues. So yes, that's a good point. People want to see that blighted lot go away and turn into something a little bit nicer. One of the issues, as you may all know, of course, and one of the concerns is always traffic on Fremont. But with anything, I think we look for ways to mitigate traffic issues and at least put something a little bit nicer in the area. So thank you. Sir, good morning. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for the great job you guys are all doing over there.
We appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of things going on in Alhambra. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I live in Alhambra.
Yes, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, the question is that exactly what you mentioned about the 800 units the Rackle is planning to build? Infrastructure is one of the key issues. It's not against the housing building 6,700 units, but it's now you have 4,000 more cars in Fremont Valley, as it is. The other day I went to UCLA coming back. It took me almost 2 hours. And just in the 10 freeway, where you say there's only 2 lanes in the 7th and so how is that? I mean, if we block those streets, those are making like that, how is that going to affect? Because as it is, it's already looks solid. And if we ignore that, there's no infrastructure to support the housing. That's what I'm basically stating. So I wonder what is thinking, and it's not only, especially on the 710, as you know, 55% of the cars are not even in the city.
They're not, yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, what's the 10 freeway? Because you mentioned, yeah, we want to keep the freeways, but it's only 2 lanes as it is right now. You go at 3 o'clock, that 10 freeway, you gotta wait 5 miles just to even get into the freeway. So that's the question.
Do you have a question?
That is the question. What is that?
Absolutely, no, and I appreciate that. That's actually a very good comment and a great question. And of course, something that comes up very frequently. So, with that, number one, going back to the changes that were going to be made to the 710 step project, the changes and improvements that we're looking to make to Fremont, Garfield, and Atlantic are looking to improve traffic along those thoroughfares by about 25 to 30%. It may not happen immediately. It's going to take a little bit of time for people to get used to it. But the idea going back is to try to keep people on the 10 freeway, and so that, the traffic that is on these thoroughfares is mostly Alhambra traffic rather than through traffic for other cities. And so the idea is to now try to spread the traffic out among some of the other local cities and not just having come on to Alhambra. But going back to the infrastructure, that is something that has been talked about. So of course, the federal infrastructure bill, Alhambra received a good amount of money for infrastructure improvements. And, one of the ideas is to try where possible to widen Fremont Avenue and just improve it for better traffic flow. One of the concerns when you do that is that if you widen it, you're actually inviting more cars, faster traffic, et cetera. And so we do have a very good engineer and traffic consultant that is working on all these issues and looking at all those possibilities. But again, going back, we are aware of that concern. And the other thing too is we have a very tough balance between the need for development being put onto us by the state and state agencies, and of course our local residents, and making sure that the local residents are protected and we keep as much local control as possible. One of the, and going back, this may be a little bit too much detail for today, but one of the issues always is trying to work with the state's HCD, the Housing and Community Development Department. The pressure that they're putting on the city of Alhambra is to build and making sure that we have a certified housing element or a housing plan. And that, of course, translates into a lot more building. And so now, again, our residents are saying, well, we want you to protect our residential neighborhoods. That's what we bought into. And the state is telling us you have to build. So it's a tough balance, but a very good question, and something that we're always trying to find better ways to mitigate and go through it. And of course, community input is always key. So thank you, Maria.
And good to have a realtor on board, making those decisions. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Talking about traffic, Costco, as we know it, is a nightmare. Just a nightmare to get in, to get gas, to be able to function in there. What can you do to mitigate that problem?
Yeah, thank you. Another very good question, something that comes up very frequently. And so we do have a pedestrian traffic and bike plan that is being looked at. And basically we received some funding from the state to basically put together a study in Alhambra to make sure that our traffic is flowing a little bit better, that our pedestrians are safe, that people can bike in certain areas of the city, without being at risk. And so we are looking at some of these areas, all of the thoroughfares, Main Street, Garfield, Atlantic, Valley Boulevard, but the area in and around Costco as well, is something that is being looked at. How do we get traffic to slow down a little bit, to flow better, and to not have all the congestion? So to answer your question, we do have this plan and the study in place. We are looking at possible completion on the study by the end of this year. And then, of course, with that now comes implementation of some of the suggestions that they're going to make. So we do have a little bit of funding for that. Some of the funding and some of the dollars that we've received from the city of Alhambra, which other cities have received, is through the American Rescue Plan Act, the ARPA funds that we call them. And so these are funds that we received from the federal government through the COVID pandemic. And basically they will help address and implement some of these concerns. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, my question is, the two sites, you mentioned about zoning changes. Two dealership that I dealt in the past is a Ford dealership on Atlantic and the Nissan dealership on Main Street. Do you see those two sites to be potential to be rezoned and to be used as residential mixed use? That is one question. And the other thing I wanted to say is that good job with the express car wash that was built on Boulevard. Also,
Good to know. Thank you. Yeah, no, that is always packed, right? Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, those are, I don't know if you have any thought or any.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'll share those with you. So, going back to the old Nissan dealership, I think that's on the corner of Hidalgo and Main Street roughly. So that has been vacant now, I think, coming up on 4 years. So that actually has a new owner. It is the Chinatown Service Center. Basically, it's going to be a health clinic. And so, it'll be repurposed, it'll be redesigned. I think, the location is prime for something like that. It's on a street where, there's access to transportation, public transportation, or ACT bus can actually service some of these clients, parking, et cetera. So, they are actually working on the redesign and they're looking to complete that probably by the summer of next year. So that will be a clinic and servicing people in the area. Chinatown Service Center has grown tremendously in the last, decades, primarily the last several years. And so they provide a tremendous service. And so we're happy to see that particular site repurposed into that. Going back to the old Ford dealership, another great question, because this tends to happen and be asked, since we're very land poor in the city of Alhambra, we're very built out. People ask, where can we build? Where does the state expect us to build? And so with the housing element, the state comes in and they ask us to inventory any potential sites for development. They come in, they look, they audit the list and say, well, you can add X, Y, and Z to this list, and you can also build, as an example, somebody asked about the Rose lot. That is something that needs to be on that list. The villages area, the state identified that for a number of units. I think that the maximum number of units that can be built, not that we want to see that many, is 2,500. Luckily, we won't be seeing, but about a third of that if that project ever comes to fruition. But again, going back to the Ford site, that has now been vacant for, I think, approximately 6 months. And so that has a special zoning permit. And if Ford doesn't decide and submit something to continue its current use, then they may lose the permit and now it will have to be repurposed. So that is not part of the housing element currently. It's not a site, but it can be encompassed potentially by the zoning code. By housing, exactly. Yeah. So a lot of people have asked, and we have a lot of developers that are asking, is there a possibility that housing may go on there? And yes, to answer your question, that is definitely a possibility. Whether it be through the zoning code update or just through the loss of use as a dealership.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Maza. We have time to squeeze in one more question.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, my question is, we go back to the 710 freeway. Doesn't matter what you're doing in that's 710 freeway. You're doing limited radius, make it to lane, Valley Boulevard, it's always bad. Now, your idea which you mentioned about widening Fremont, that it's a wrong thing to doing because it's a school right there. And you will put a lot of children and jeopardize. My only comment would be continue that 710 freeway to Alhambra borderline. And in that way, you can spread the car, which get in there, get to Main Street and you're gonna drive for the other city.
So no, that's a very valid comment question where it might be, it is a concern, and that's some of the community feedback that we received. So number one, going back to Fremont, the safety for the school. And so, whatever gets done, whether Fremont gets, widened by a few feet, whatever we may do to Fremont, the main consideration is Fremont School and the on and off ramp there. So, the idea would be, no matter what gets done, is make sure that the school is protected. One more comment regarding the extending the freeway to Alhambra Avenue. So all the traffic models that we run, and some of these traffic models get run for a number of months, just looking at different possibilities, car trips, et cetera. It shows us that no matter what we do and how we extend it, traffic will always flow out onto Alhambra streets, causing further congestion. So the idea is, the best thing to do is try to keep people on the 10 freeway and spread that traffic throughout the local area. So thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Maza.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you all for having me here this morning. My apologies for the PowerPoint. I wish I would have been able to show you some of the pictures and some of the projects that are coming up. But of course, we always have next year. So again, thank you for the warm welcome, for having me here. And definitely wish you all lots of success in your businesses. I know that we're going through some tough times, or a lot of changes, I should say, in our industry. And we've been there before. we all will prevail and wish you all lots of success. Thank you.
On behalf of West Virginia Valley, we'd like to present a little appreciation token to Vice Mayor Maza.
Your Honor, thank you very much. Very detailed, very informative, absolutely. And thank you, Pauline, for inviting our special guest today. Okay, today we'll get back on our schedule real quick here. Attendance drawing. All WSGVR members are included in the attendance drawing, but not all will be displayed. Today, our pot is at $475. And if we don't have a winner, we'll add $25 to the pot each week until someone wins. The pot will be again start at $25 when someone wins. If for our last breakfast meeting of the year, we still do not have a winner, we will draw names until a lucky member in the attendance of the meeting gets called. The winner must be in person at the association to do it. And when your name is called, you must announce that you are present. And we will call your name 3 times. And if you do not respond, we will move on. Thank you.
The winner.
We have a winner.
Okay, we have a winner. Chen, two. Well, was it 2 or 10? Yeah. Not, I have to do it 2 more times. 2, are you here?
10 how
2,
to.
3,
10 how to.
4. Okay, not here. So we're adding $25. So we're going to have a nice even amount of $500 next Thursday. Okay, also, we have winners. We do for the Amazon gift card drawing. Please select 3 winners that are in attendance and who are they? Buck and Victoria. He's taller than me. I'm not going to. Alina Chu. This time I will announce that our upcoming classes, we still have the 45-hour DRE class coming up. It's on Friday, July 21st, and it's at 9:30 a.m. to 12:30. The cost is $85. Also, there is CCIM Commercial 102, Market Analysis for Commercial Investment Real Estate. July 24th through the 27th, from 8:30 in the morning till 5:30 p.m. See the flyer for that CCIM details. And there's CRMLS virtual training of the app HomeSnap on Wednesday, July 26th, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Just an hour, that is free. And Home with Diversity presented by AHWD certification course. And that's Monday, August 7th at 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The cost is $39. Now we'll have the 50-50 raffle. Yeah. This one. That's one.
So the number 072622.
2622. It's your lucky day.
Yeah. Oh, 62.
62.
I'm going to share my flyer. 62. Where is your flyer?
It's YPN.
I don't have your flyer unless you have a physical flyer. No, I can't show it.
Okay. Thank you. And now we'll have announcements. Cosmo, would you come up to the middle? Or come up here, Mike. That's okay. Is that on?
Hello, everyone. We have any Pacific Islanders in the room today. Are you from the Pacific Islands? Okay, now we got a link. We're going to have a YPN Hawaii themed party next Thursday at 5 p.m. at Cheers Bar. It's going to be free admission with appetizers. Okay, and don't miss it. So make sure you guys come out. It's going to be a great time to enjoy the summer and have fun and just unwind. Hope to see you guys there.
Also, there's a flyer up for a listing plus. Okay.
Good morning. This is Alice Steinman with Remax League. My listing at 999 East Valley Boulevard, Unit 107. Is a single floor, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, not a senior one. The seller has done extensive renovation inside, and I will be there 11 to 1 today with AC on. And I'm truly grateful for this listing because my son was diagnosed with brain cancer a month ago. So yeah, and then I got 2 owners cancel the listing. So I need your help to quickly sell this stock and make some money. Because my family is being hit financially and emotionally with this unexpected condition. Thank you. Asking price 658,000 and HOA is close to 400. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alice. And now one more announcement, Dora, Leo.
So I just want to pitch this property, but everyone know that American is sold. If you have a classic car you want to show off, this is a great opportunity. Please come down to the chamber meeting morning on Sunday, July 23rd, 7 a.m. to 11 o'clock. However, if you don't have a classic car to show off, you can still come to enjoy a cup of coffee, which is free. The new location we have is in between Luminaria's restaurant and the golf course in Monterey Park. Anyone know Monterey Park Steakhouse? Actually, the real estate is belong to Sydney. So that a steakhouse restaurant that they no longer do catering. So that's a huge parking lot waiting for you to enjoy upcoming Sunday, 7 to 11. I see you there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dora. Okay, please join us next week, July 27th, as we welcome our affiliate panel. The topic will be maximizing real estate security, title, estate planning, and litigation. Thank you for attending the meeting today. The meeting is adjourned.